hello, everybody. It's Annika Laquette here, the host of Navigating I podcast, and we are finally at season three. I can't believe it, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, we're at season three, and I have my girl, my good sis, Zandra. Hey, girl,
Hey girl,
how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So I know you personally, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Zandra Muldrow. I'm the current reigning Mrs. Georgia Black United States 2025. I graduated from Morris College with my bachelor's in organizational management. I've done pageantry for almost legit 24-ish years. I've been doing it since I was 4. And I know Annika personally because she crowned me as Miss Black and Gold 2019 for the Xi Upsilon chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity on Morris College campus. So we go way
Yeah.
back, way back.
Yes, ma'am. So, what motivated you to get into pageantry?
So I was a very enthusiastic little girl. I was always in theatricals, singing, dancing, modeling. And my mom was like, okay, I have to channel your energy somewhere.
Right.
Okay. And so one of the very first things she actually introduced me to was pageantry. And my first pageant that I competed in and I actually won was Little Miss Lake City.
Okay.
And I was running for the daycare. I was actually at Miss Skipper's daycare and I won Little Miss Lake City. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I like this. This is nice. And so from there, it just really took off. And I would compete in different little local pageants or little local fashion shows. And my first national pageant was actually when I was around 12, 13, and that was a National American Miss. They sent this packet in the mail and they're like, hey, we want you to come compete. We're interested in you. And I was like, well, first of all, how did they get my address?
Right.
Because I never heard this system before. And I was like, Mom, this play, like they want me to come, come join. And she was like, well, are you sure you want to do it? And she's like,
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, of course. And so from there, my national pageant journey took off. And ever since then, yeah, I've been going.
That's amazing. See, I didn't know that. So you said you
Yes.
started at
Yes.
4.
And they still do it too. If you talk to any pageant, young pageant girl, they literally, NAM still sends their packages in the mail. And I'm like, that is amazing.
Oh wow, that's good. See, I didn't know that. So
Hmm.
now I know. So I know a lot. Yeah.
Hmm.
So okay, you started at 4, and then when you was like in that, you said daycare, and that's so cool. Like they got you started early. That's really good. I like that.
Right.
Oh yes, I love that. So I saw that you are, of course, the first Miss Georgia Black United States. Period.
Yes.
Set in history. I love
Yes,
it.
ma'am. We
Yes,
have to setting the
of course.
standards.
Yes. So, tell us about the most rewarding aspect of being crowned this title.
The most rewarding aspect is definitely the service. If you know me, but for those who don't know me, I have always been dedicated to doing things with my community and servicing my community because that's what we're all about. In my belief, we as humans, that's our job. We service one another, we help one another when we're low. And so for me, it's just rewarding that I get to serve a community and represent for voices that don't get heard. I
Right.
always tell people that when you are a pageant queen, you're representing the underrepresented.
Hmm.
You're coming from that community yourself and you're showing the positives of that said community. And so, me being Mrs. Georgia, I'm doing the same thing here.
That's good. I like that. And I like what you said for people that's not heard, you're the voice for them. That's something
Yes.
that I stand on, even this podcast. I said this podcast is for people to be seen and heard that don't get
Right.
opportunity to. I'm looking for small businesses, pageant queens, all that. So I'm happy you said that because everybody needs to be seen and heard. So
There
yes,
you
I
go.
agree. Yes, ma'am. Yes, okay. And I also agree because I'm a pageant queen. Everybody know, and not just a
Yes,
pageant
she
queen. Like
is.
yes, not just a pageant queen. Like on stage, like you have to have it throughout your whole life. Like you carry yourself a
Hmm.
different way once you become a pageant queen. I don't know about everybody else, but I know us. We carry ourselves like in a different
There
way.
you go. Has
Yes,
to carry with class, the
you do.
standards, the whole nine.
Yes, ma'am. So, what is the most important lesson you learned from being in the pageant world?
The one most important thing I've always learned, and I'm pretty sure this is overplayed, but it's so true, is being authentically you.
Right.
You know, if you're trying to force this narrative of something that you're not going to be able to carry out that narrative because it's not in your system. It's not who you are. So when you are being the person that you are truly, it carries so much more, and so many people will actually open their eyes and look at you and actually hear the things that you have to say. And that was something I had to learn over my pageantry history, because I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I would kind of try to push a little bit of a narrative, and I was like, you know what, that's something I don't naturally do. I don't ever do that. That's not in my forte. And so the last couple of years, I actually tuned into me and authentically me, and I saw literally just how much of growth and just how higher of place, just how true people actually saw me. And ever since 2017, I actually was top 5 in most of the pageants I was competing in. And I never
That's
did
good.
any less. And that's simply because I stayed true to myself. I didn't try to push some falsified narrative. I actually did what I knew I could be worthy of and what I actually do on a day to day basis.
That's good. I like that. And a lot of people, I feel like I've came across some queens who were kind of fake. I think we
Mm-hmm.
all have.
Yeah.
That really do not fit the standard of what pageantry is all about. I've came across so many in this entertainment world, but there's a lot of women like us who are authentic and literally like this on stage and off stage. And
Right.
you have to bring that every single time. People want to see like the person they're seeing on stage be more relatable to them, which you have to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely understand where you're coming from.
Being relatable is not only being relatable is key, but just the simple fact that nobody in the, especially in the world that we live in today, no one wants to fake. No
Right.
one wants to falsify. No one wants to, oh my God, this is this erratic image. And it's like, no, I'm going to put it to you blunt, put it to you simple. This is who I am. And if you don't accept it, then you don't accept it. But this is just who I am.
You're
And
right.
I'm not changing that.
Wow. You're right about that. So, how do you handle pressure and manage expectations in both your personal life and pageant queen life?
Oh Lord, I wait for this question. So,
Yeah, I'm waiting
exactly. So, as many people may not know, I'm actually a mom. I'm a mom of two. I have an 8-month-old, and then I have a 3-year-old, and they're both boys.
Yes.
They're wild.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
And I am a stay-at-home mom. So I always try to find events, or I always try to plan my schedule around my boys. Because at the end of the day, my boys come first, my husband comes first, my family comes first.
Hmm.
But when I do plan these events, I always try to find events that I can kind of include them into.
Okay.
Because as a Mrs. Queen, I want to show not only can I do the thing,
Right.
okay? Not only can I do the service,
Yes.
but I'm doing it as a full blown mama.
Right.
Full blown stay at home mama. So
Exactly.
I want to show people that you can have the best worlds. The best of both worlds. There we go. The best of both worlds at the same time.
That's good. See, yeah, you're a mama. A lot of people didn't know that. I mean, of course, if you follow on social media, you know. But you're
Yes.
a mama of whole out here in these streets, okay?
Yes, ma'am. A whole mother.
Okay,
Whole mother. The job
right?
I'd never clock out of.
Ever, okay? Like that's a good thing. Like, cause pageantry, it takes a lot. Like a
It
lot,
does.
especially depending on the type of pageant you're a part of. It could be a whole week long. Sometimes it take months. Like it depends on
Hmm.
the industry you're in. Whew, okay,
And that's
yeah,
why I love the fact that our director's name is Yolanda Stinnett. And I love how she created the system, because for most of our queens, she only requires, especially for the Mrs., because she knows how busy our life and our schedule is. She's
right,
like, you're only required to do 2 service community, engagements per month. And I
okay,
absolutely love that, because she kept us in mind, knowing that we are mothers, we have husbands, that
yeah,
we some of us work, some of us don't work, but it's the fact that we are constantly busy because of what we do. And I
yeah.
absolutely love how she set that up.
That's good. I like that too. A lot of people don't do that, and a
They
lot of people
don't.
choose to
Mm-mm.
accommodate for people who like you have a whole family, a husband, all of that. So I like that you do that. Shout out to Yolanda. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So yes, so I saw that you have two organizations, Resilient Elite Membership. I'm sorry, let me start over. Hulu. I saw that you have two because I'm gonna add this out. I'm gonna get my video editor to do all this. So yeah,
Gotcha.
we got this. So if you mess up, it's fine. Um, So I saw that you have two organizations: Resilient Elite Mentorship and Pageantry, and Heart Arts, which I love. Okay, I was a part of that.
Yes.
Period. Okay, with Heart Arts, yes. So what are your future plans for the two organizations, and tell us about them?
So absolutely, we did take a hiatus from Hard Arts, simply because I'm a mom. That's one. And I wanted to get a new team and, put together some new ideas that would actually help our community. So let me roll back. Hard Arts is stands for Helping Everyone Achieve Resilience Through the Arts. It is a organization that I founded back in August of 2018. I am focused on teaching at-risk and disadvantaged youth about the arts, social justice, and mental health. Resilient Elite Mentorship is actually not bipartisan, but we are a smaller group that is connected to Hard Arts. That is my youth mentoring group for my young girls. And we are focused on empowering them, encouraging them through mentorship, through pageantry, through different events that actually shows them who they are as women and how they can succeed as young women. And so Hard we have this big thing coming up next year. I am so excited. Oh, I can't, I'm trying to stay in my chair. But Hard Arts, we've done a complete rebrand. We've done new things. We're getting a new website that will be released coming out in the new year. There are so many good things with Hard Arts. One big thing with Hard Arts that we are actually going to be releasing that I'm excited to announce is we are going to be doing the Rick Gordon Legacy Scholarship. Now, this scholarship is in honor of my dad who passed away November 26th of 2023. And for those who don't know my dad, he was a council member for Greenbelt, Maryland, but he was always about the people's work. As a matter of fact, his motto was 24/7, the people's work. And so
Mhm.
I wanted to honor his legacy and honor who he was. And so Hard Arts will be offering a book scholarship to any junior or senior upcoming that's coming to college that will be studying political science. They'll be doing mental health psychology. I can't remember all my other ones, but those are the most important ones. So be on the lookout for that. We're also getting ready to gear up, and we haven't set a date for this one yet, but we're thinking about hosting a annual talent show.
Ooh, come on, girl.
Yes, with a grand total prize of 500.
Ooh, come on,
So,
money.
any businesses that is interested in being a sponsor, helping us put this event live, we are doing this because I want the youth. I want them to have a space to actually get to express their arts. I grew up as a musical theater kid. I grew up in singing. Matter of fact, if those who do watch and know me, I'm known mainly as a singer.
Yep.
That's what I'm mainly known as, a singer. And so I wanted to give kids that safe, sacred space to perform and show their artistic talents. And so doing this talent show is going to be a piece of cake. I love it. As for Resilient Elite Mentorship and Pageantry, we are starting off strong in the new year. We're taking mentors now. And so we will actually have an official link released at the beginning of the year for young girls if you would like to be mentored by me or two of the women that's on my team. That'll be amazing. We want you guys to come on in. And then we're hosting, and I'm super excited about this. Oh, I've been holding this information in just for this interview.
Too
Next
exclusive.
year, yes, this is exclusive. Starting next year in the month of March, we will begin the Royalty Empowerment Luncheon Travel. Yes. We will be hosting a royalty tea for our young girls ages 4 through 16.
That's
You
good.
get to come dress up. You get to get gifts, goodie bags. We're going to have guest speakers. We're going to have guest royalty. This is an empowerment luncheon for young girls to really be embraced in the culture of not only pageantry, but just women empowerment and really get to feel what it's like to be a part of an organization that empowers you and really encourages you to do who you want to do things and do what you want to do as a young lady. And I'm so excited about that. Like, I have been wanting to put this tea luncheon on for years. This has been a thought process. This has been a mission of mine since literally 2020.
Wow.
So the fact that we are officially starting off strong, and one of the first cities that we're visiting is Lake City, South Carolina, and the second city we're visiting is Savannah, Georgia.
Ooh,
So
okay.
be on the lookout for that, y'all. I'm so excited. So excited.
Yes, I'm excited for you because people need a tea. People need to know like how to do like different etiquettes and different things like that. Things
Yes.
in the world that people really don't teach a lot anymore. Yeah, the
Exactly.
girls need to know about that at a
Exactly.
young age, starting up and then going older. That's good. I
Hmm.
like that. And I'm so excited. You started out good.
I
Okay.
know. It took a lot of it took a lot of tireless nights
Hmm.
praying and fasting. Like I literally was studying. I was like, we are going to make these organizations pop
Hmm.
next year. And so I'm really excited for everyone to just enjoy these events and really just give the community a sacred space for these young kids because they need it.
They
You
do.
know, they are our future.
Yes.
After, when I get old, not right now, but
Right now, right now.
when I get there, I have a light to, a torch to pass on to. And so that's the important part of just doing all this.
That's good. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait. So, yes, what cause or social issue are you most passionate about? And how do you plan to use your platform to make a difference?
Absolutely. So my platform is the importance of stay-at-home mothers, mental health in youth and mothers, and youth mentorship. So they're kind of three all combined together. And the reason why I chose these as my platform is simply because these are things that I've dealt with my entire life. Short little backstory. I am adopted, and I did not grow up in the foster care system, but I was adopted at a young age. But I dealt with the bullying. I've been bullied. I've dealt with the peer pressure. I have been a victim of a lot of different things. I've been a victim of SA. So whenever I teach people and tell people my story, it's mainly to encourage them and say, you know something, I went through all of this, but look at where I'm at.
Right.
And even there were times where I never thought I could be where I'm at. However, I made it. And I made it through two things. One was God, actually, three. One was God. One was my family and the people that surrounded me, my village. And then three, I never gave up, even when
Hmm.
I wanted to. And that's kind of a hard statement because there were the times where I really wanted to throw in the towel. I was
Come
like,
on
yeah,
now.
I can't do
Right.
this. And I would sit there and I would kind of look at myself in the mirror and I would take this deep breath and I said, you know what? Tomorrow's coming. Tomorrow's going to be a different day. And we're going to
Yep.
make it a different day. And so that's why I'm really, uh, I feel very, 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 very strongly when it comes to mental health because a lot of people think mental health is crazy, you're going crazy, or you don't have any thought process, or you're not intelligent. And that's not what mental health is. Mental
Hmm.
health is when, you feel things a lot more differently than the norm.
Right.
But that's what the strength is. That's why I love the word resilient. And if anybody didn't pick up, both of my organizations state they have resilient in the name because when you go through things, when you go through traumas, somehow, some way you get picked back up. Whether it's from
Hmm.
somebody else, but most likely you're gonna pick yourself back up and you're gonna dust yourself off and you're gonna keep going. That's resilience. The fact that you can't, the fact that you are knocked down, but you can get back up, that's
Mm.
resilient to me because that's your power, that is your strength. And I always tell people with mental health, you have to actually do thorough research and actually understand what the mental health is, what it's actually all about, and not hold it to that person and say, oh, that's who they are, that's their character. But that's not my
Mm.
character. I,
Nope.
I will proudly say I do suffer from depression, I do suffer from PTSD, and I do suffer from anxiety. However, that's not who I am.
Nope.
That's a bipartisan or whatever, but that's not who I am. But that just makes me more emotional. That means I can tune in more to people's emotions. I have more empathy than the normal person. I can reach on someone's level and be relatable to someone and actually hear what they have to say and be understandable because of these things.
Mm.
And so that's my keynote for mental health. And for stay-at-home moms, when I became a stay-at-home mother, a lot of people do not realize stay-at-home mom, that's a job. That is
Mm.
a full-time job that you don't clock out of. It is a full-time job. However, it's a job that I really endure and I love, and I would never give it away. However, I wish that we had more resources and more assistance as a stay-at-home mother.
Okay.
We don't work. Our husbands work or whoever that supports us works,
Right.
but we don't get the assistance that we need. There are times where we struggle. There are times where we need to take a mental break and say, hee haw, you know?
Hmm.
So I want to be that woman who provides some form of a resource to stay at home mothers so that they can feel that, they're not alone. Like, I got you, girl. Like, yeah, we in this together, sis.
Yep.
We mamas for real. I got you. If you need a break, call
Mhm.
my phone, you
Yep.
know? So I just want to bring awareness to what we do as stay-at-home mothers and the change and the impact that we actually bring to our communities. Because when I was living in Virginia, my husband was in the military, but while we were living in Virginia, the stay-at-home mom community up there is strong. If you needed some
Wow.
sugar, you could call your sister right across and be like, "Hey, can I get a bag of sugar?" It's really strong and it's really impactful.
Mhm.
And so that is all my platforms, and that's what I tend to bring. I want to bring awareness to things that we actually need to be bringing awareness to.
That's good. And see, I didn't know anything about that. So I'm learning your story the more and more I get to know you. So that
Yeah.
is that's amazing. I didn't know. So girl, yeah, you overcame so much, a lot, okay? And you're
Yeah.
still here. Right,
Still
okay.
here.
Yes.
Still here
Okay.
rooting.
Right. Okay. Period. Okay. And also when you said that you were stay-at-home mom, a lot of people think that it's so many things when it comes to that. Like people think that stay-at-home moms don't do anything all day. And you said it's a full-time job.
It is.
It
It is a
is.
full time job. Not when the first thing you do, as a matter of fact, I can give you a rundown of most of my day. First thing
Mm-hmm.
we're doing, we wake up at my kids wake up around like 7:30. I'm getting
Okay.
up at 7:30. Sometimes they'll get up at 6. It
Oh.
really depends on when they went to bed the night. We get up at
Mm-hmm.
7:30. I'm making breakfast. After I'm making breakfast, my son, they do their little playtime for a while, and then we're right into academics.
Yep.
I'm their full blown teacher.
Oh yeah, that
So
teacher
we're
too.
doing reading, we're doing writing, we're doing math, we're doing a little bit of science lesson, which shout out to Sid the Science Kid. We're doing science lessons. And then once we're doing all that, yeah, they take a nap, but then I have to do house duties. Okay, I
Yep.
have to make sure the laundry's done. I have to make sure I get ready and prep for dinner. If I have to clean up a room or something, I'm cleaning up a room. Um, I also run two businesses on the side, so I got to make sure I'm doing my businesses during the time of their nap. Then once they're waking up from nap, we're going outside, and we're either going outside or we're in here and we're doing playtime again. We're doing some engagement,
Yeah.
learning engagement activities, something to engage them. And then once my husband comes home, I'm cooking dinner.
Hmm.
I am prepping up their bedtime, getting their bedtime routine ready together, doing another clean of the house because two
Yep.
boys,
Yeah.
they get kind of wild.
Right.
Two boys will mess up a room. They will make it look like it's a hurricane just came through.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
they
believe
quick with it.
it.
So, and then unfortunately, I do this to myself. By the end of the day, I don't fold my clothes during the day. I just wash them and I pile them up on the chair. I'm not even going to lie about it.
It is what
And by
it
the
is,
end of the day, that's when I start. That's when I start folding.
Yep.
I wait till the very end of the day to start folding, and then even
Hmm.
then, I'm still never finished with the laundry. But
Hmm.
that's pretty much, that. And then again, I'm not doing laundry every day, but that's just like an idea of what stay at home moms do. We don't just
Yeah.
stay at home and chill and we be on our phone all day and be like, oh yeah. Nah, like I'm constantly on the go with the kids. And then if it's appointment day, oh that's even crazier. Because we're out
Mm.
all day. And I
Yep.
have to make sure I have diapers, the wipes, got the stroller set up together. Okay, what are they having for lunch? Let me make sure I tap in how much time we got for lunch in between appointments. And then
Hmm.
from there, I got to make sure that we're good. I need to give them some type of extracurricular activity. So let's go to either Surge or we're going to exhilarate. It's it's crazy.
Yep. It's a lot to think about. Yeah. It's a lot to think about, a lot to do. Yeah. It's a full blown day.
A full
So,
blown day, and you
yeah.
don't clock out either, because
No.
if they get sick at night, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Mm. I understand. I completely understand. So can you describe your most memorable moment on stage during a competition?
Oh, I'm gonna take this back to 2019.
Oh.
2019, I was competing in a system called Miss Black International Ambassador,
Hmm.
and they had just called top five. I was announced as one of the top five, and we were getting ready to do evening gown. And this is memorable simply because I talk about this way too much with my husband and anyone who can hear. The dress I had on was a dress that I did not want. Yes, my godmother actually was like, "Oh no, I think you'll look great in this dress." Mm-mm. It wasn't.
Mm.
It wasn't the dress, and I felt it in my chest, and I was like, "I hope I don't lose because of this dress." But I went out there and I nailed it,
Okay.
and I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do the best I got. We're gonna go with the best I have," you know. And I had my hair in this bun
Hmm.
as well, and I never wear buns when I compete because buns make me look like I'm a little older.
I get you. I
I had a
understand.
bun and a red lip, so I was
Oh,
like,
oh,
okay,
girl. Yeah.
right. I was like, I'm trying to show that I'm a miss. And I remember shortly, like 2 days after, because when we got our results back, I remember the director of the pageant. She literally told me, she goes and she said the judges wrote in their notes that you look like you were 30 years old on stage. And, and I was butt hurt. I said, "Oh,
No, they
well,
did.
yeah, girl, yes, they did." I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah." I kind of figured. Lesson learned,
Yeah.
though.
Hmm.
We're just gonna go with the dress I initially had chose.
Yeah.
Whatever makes me feel beautiful and comfortable. Because they were like, yeah, they felt like you were great. Your onstage presence was great. You gave the energy. And I was like I think I was like top three for most of the areas of competition. But that one I kind of flunked because of the dress and like the hair choice and the make. And they were like, yeah, no,
Okay.
you just kind of looked a little bit older. And I was like, yeah. But I am very proud of my fourth runner up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very proud of my fourth runner up because that was going against that was our first. I think that was the first year they actually became international too.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wow.
to be fourth runner up out of I can't even remember how many girls it was. I think it was like 50 of us,
Ooh,
maybe
that's
50,
good.
maybe 20 something of us. Yeah, like yeah, I was
Yeah.
proud of myself.
Yeah. I'm proud of you too, girl. Yes. Because I'm
I
like,
said, regardless of the dress matter, I still made fourth runner up. I
yeah.
did my thing and I did it. That's
Okay.
important.
Shoot. You know what? Speaking of stories with dresses, girl. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you remember. I don't know because it was on. I think I posted on my Facebook. Okay, so after the Miss Black and Gold pageant, right? We all had to go to district pageant. Yes,
Right.
against all the South Carolina Black and Golds. So, oh Lord. Okay. So I said, okay, I'm gonna wear the same dress I wore for Miss Black and Gold pageant at Morris.
I
So,
remember that. Yep.
yep, went to Charleston. Then all of a sudden, like the day of the pageant, I had like my dress, like we was rushing because everything was in a rush. So I had my dress on top of the car, and we was driving down the interstate, and my dress went floop. It literally went floop. And my mama stopped the car in the middle of the interstate. I think Isaiah was with me, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he was my escort.
Uh-huh.
No, 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 he wasn't with me. He wasn't with me. So he was at the location. But I said, Mom, I think I like something fell out the car. So we stopped the car on the side of the road. I saw my dress flew. Like it was like miles back. But I could see it
Oh,
like crumbled up with like dust and like the bag was like flying. And people were stopping on the side of the road to help us. Girl, I said, Mom, we gotta back up this car. So we backing up on the wrong side of the road. Like it was crazy. Okay.
I
So it
never
was a
heard that
white
story.
it was a white dress.
I know. Oh my god, that was. Oh my
The
god.
dress that yeah, the color of your dress right now was scuffed up, ripped up, and we went to the laundry. man, and we was late for the pageant. Girl, my mom was scrubbing in that dang on. It was great. She was scrubbing in the bathroom. Like it was so wild. I went on
Look,
stage. It was like wet. Yeah, the dress
look,
is still
but you
there.
did the thing because
I
she
did the
looks
thing.
gorgeous, y'all.
Yes,
I
I
would have
did.
never known that.
Girl, no. It was
I would have never
yeah,
known that because it looked gorgeous on stage.
yes. So and I ended up making history for the the whole chapter, placing. I think I was
The
second
first
runner up.
runner up.
Yeah, no,
Hmm.
you was first runner up. I was second runner
I
up.
was.
So I made history for the chapter. So everybody after me, so y'all, Zandra after me, she placed first runner up. So I made history and I was able to
You sure did.
pass
She
on.
she
Okay.
walked so I could run.
Period. Okay, y'all. Mm, never again. Now we know.
She
Whenever we
said,
had a
"Net,
dress.
net." Look, that's
Mm-mm.
why I could, and that's the crazy thing because the dress I had on in the 2019 pageant was actually a white, silver diamond dress, and I told
Mm-hmm.
myself I would never wear a white dress in a pageant, like as an evening gown. I
Yeah.
learned my lesson. I was
Yeah.
right. I was
Girl,
right.
you was
I told my
right.
mom I was like, I will never wear another white dress again as a final gown. It's not
Mm-mm.
happening.
Girl,
Not
no.
happening.
Never again. So now I know. But okay, so what advice would you give someone who's considering entering a beauty pageant?
Please do your research.
Yes.
There are tons of systems out here, and majority of them are not beauty focused.
Mm-mm.
Now we have, unfortunately, so Miss Universe is an example. Miss Universe, they do focus on beauty, and they've been trying to focus on service, but they haven't really done a good job with it. But the queens who actually compete at Miss Universe, they do actually do service work.
Okay.
Now, if you are not the girl who likes to be all glammed up and dressy up, but you actually like to do community service, there are tons of community service pageants out here that focus on service, scholarship, mentorship, all that good stuff. Miss Black United States is one. I can call a couple off the top of my head. International Junior Miss, National American Miss. Oh my goodness, there's so many I can't think of. Miss USA Prime.
Yeah.
We have North America pageant. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
There's
It
so
is.
many. And there's so many flags in my brain I can't call them all out. But it's important to really do your research on these
Yeah.
systems because you may look at Miss Universe and say, oh, all pageant systems are like that. And
No.
we're not all like that. Not at all. Not the slightest. Um, we do share elements such as like competition styles or prize packaging, things of like that nature. But the core of what each pageant represents is completely different from another system. They always are going to have their, we always share certain qualities, but we're always going to have some type of differentiation between one another. And that is just that really that's my number one key is really just really do your research. Do your
Okay.
research.
That's really good. So do you have like any upcoming projects that you would like to share today? Any events you're going to be a part of?
Oh wow, yes. So actually, I will be recently for the remainder of this month. I am doing a Christmas drive for Shelter from the Rain organization here in Savannah. We are gathering needs. This organization specifically focuses on single mothers that are in the Savannah, Georgia area.
Okay.
And so I'm looking for things like diapers, wipes, toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning supplies, all that good stuff. If you would like to donate, um, you can donate them to me if you see me in South Carolina, or you can call me, let me know, or you can text me, let me know. Or if you can't do that, I'll take a monetary donation and I'll use the monetary donation to buy the supplies that we need so we can give it to these single moms. Cause during the holiday season, it's tough. We know what's going on with inflation. Inflation
Yes.
is wild. Inflation is
Yes.
crazy. So we want to make sure that these single moms have something to help their babies.
Right.
Because I was raised by a single mother
So was I.
and I have seen, yeah, how I've seen her struggle. And without the village, of course, she had a village. So without her village, of course, things would have been a lot differently. But I have seen her where times where she has had a hard time, making sure things were met. So I want to be able to relieve that burden off of single mothers. The drive ends on January the 7th, but I will still continue to take items after the fact because I'm continuing to partner with this organization throughout the remainder of the year and forthcoming.
Okay.
Another thing that I'm also doing is I am gathering items for another organization here called Park Place Youth Outreach. And they are a youth homeless shelter here in Savannah. And they are looking for different mini resources like toothpastes, toothbrushes, blankets, towels, bed sheets, bed covers, because they get a lot of kids coming in.
Wow.
And that's unfortunately a very sad reality. When
Mm-hmm.
I talked to the owner, she was like, there's a lot of youth, that it influx where they're homeless or they get kicked out of their parents' house or they don't have anyone to really rely upon because of whether it may be mental health issues or behavioral issues or, just hard times.
Yeah.
And they are trying to support them as much as they possibly can. So if you guys want to donate any items for that, again, call me, text me. Um, you can reach out to me if you want to give a monetary donation. That is fine too. And I'll go and I'll purchase the items that I need to hand to them as well. And starting next month, it's crunch time because the Mrs. Black United States 2025 pageant is happening June 19th of 2025. It'll be happening in
Ooh,
Waldorf, Maryland. So I'm excited. And this is
okay.
crunch time for me because I got to do a lot of prep. I've been
Yes,
prepping
you do.
since I got the title, but this is like game time prep.
Right.
Like clocking. Like clock it all in, man.
Yes.
And that's what I'll be doing. And then, of course, the events that I'm doing with my organization, those are also coming up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I got going on
Well, that's good. You got a
that
lot
I can
going
think
on this
of.
coming year. Oh yeah.
Always,
Yes, ma'am.
always. I can't not just sit still
Mm-mm.
because if I sit still, I'll start to get sad and I'll just be like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh, I'm too tired. I'm exhausted. I
Yeah.
need to do. So I have to find things to do.
Yeah. Same.
Either I find things to do or I go be a service of my community. It's one of the two that I got to get done because I'm like, we got
Yep.
things to do. Then again, as a stay at home mom, I'm never not really busy.
Yeah.
So my boys keep me on my toes. They keep me on my toes.
Yes, ma'am. So, lastly, like, give yourself a shout out. Where can people follow you? Just let us know.
Absolutely. So on my Instagram, I have 3 pages. Yeah, I know.
All right.
I got 3 pages. If you want to follow my personal, it's Zandra_Muldrow. If you want to follow my pageant pages, I have two. The first one is Mrs. GA Black United States. I'm sorry, repeat. It is actually Mrs. Georgia Black United States. You can find that on IG. And then my other pageant page is Mrs. Muldrow Pageantry. And then on my Facebook, it's my name, Zandra Muldrow. And that's it. I don't really have any more social medias. That's embarrassing.
No, you're fine.
That's
It's
embarrassing.
good.
Let me think. Is that all my social medias? I
You
think
have
that's all my social
TikTok.
medias. I do have a TikTok.
Okay,
Oh,
see? Yep.
thank
All
you.
right. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, look, I had to remind. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok, it should be Zandra_Muldrow. That
Okay.
should be my name on TikTok. And I don't post as much, but I post.
Okay. See?
So
That's it.
and I'm gonna be posting like I'm gonna start vlogging a little bit more. That was one of the to-do list for me to start vlogging. Um, will it get done? I don't like the editing part. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I don't like
Girl.
the editing part of vlogging.
Mm,
I kind of just want to record it and just be done and just. But
yeah.
everyone wants the transitions and the
Ooh.
edits, the whole woo-ha. So
Mhm.
we'll try that next year. We'll see how that goes.
Yes. I want to thank you so, so much for coming on Navigate and I podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Mwah.
welcome. And remember, yes, life was delayed, but it never gave denied. I'm your host, Annika Laquette, and you're listening to Never Gave Denied podcast. Bye.